All right, guys, I think we're going to welcome to NDD's webinar, The New Features and Functionality of the EasyOne Connect software. My name is Jamie Burgess, and I'm an RT with NDD.
My name is Darren Fitzpatrick, and I'm also an RT with NDD. Like the title says, today we are going to go through some of the new features of the latest version of the EasyOne Connect software.
Even though some of these features will look similar to previous updates, it's important that you're always running the most current version, which in this case is version 3.6, to take advantage of everything that EasyOne Connect can offer.
This version just launched in December of 2019. So unless you have just recently been trained on your device, you'll need to update your device. This will be a bit of a slide-heavy presentation. You won't see us so much. But we really wanted to walk through updating the process in detail so that you are comfortable during doing this update at your own facility or office.
A little bit of housekeeping. So we do have that Q&A, the chat box open on the right-hand side of your screen. Please enter questions as they come up throughout the presentation. We definitely want to answer those questions, but just know that we're going to wait until the end of the presentation to get to those, just so that we can keep everything moving. But yeah, absolutely, when they come up, type them in, and we will address them for you at the end of the show. That's kind of a funny show.
I feel like we're on a show.
There will be an email coming out to you guys after the webinar with to the email that you provided in the registration link. And that will have our contact information in it if you need to get a hold of us with some more specific questions after the webinar. And it will also have the recorded presentation that we're doing today, so that when you take time to go back and update your device, you'll be able to have that good video reference to go along with it. The objectives for this webinar, we want you guys to walk away understanding how to download and install the software on your respective devices. We're going to highlight the new functionalities of the software and also just review additional features that come with this 3.6 update.
A couple of things we want to remind you to have when you are getting ready to do this update. The first is having the ability to access our website. You can see the link on this slide, but it's www.nddmed.com. You'll also need the USB stick. If you are unable to access a website for IT or security reasons, please contact support at that email on the slide, and a USB stick with the software already loaded will be mailed to you. Please give yourself 30 to 60 minutes for this software update. This isn't something you want to do right now with us. It will take some time, so make sure you allow that to either before or after patients.
Right, absolutely. All right, we're going to kind of launch into some of these pretty detailed slides here, so bear with us. We're going to try to get you guys as comfortable with the process as we can.
And again, this is accessible for you even after this webinar. We just wanted to walk you through it so you feel more familiar with it when it comes time to updating your software. So when you go to update your software, you're going to go to our website, and you're also going to need your USB stick at this point. So when you're at our website, you'll see in the top, you'll see support, and then you're going to go to downloads. Under the downloads, you'll go to software. And this is where you can choose which device you're updating, whether it's your EasyOne Air, your EasyOne PC, your EasyOne Pro and Pro Lab. And today we're going to go with EasyOne Pro and Pro Lab. So when you get to the screen where you're going to now choose the file that you need to download, you're going to choose the one that's the zip file. You see it circled in red. And the next one is you're going to want to download the instructions as well. But make sure you don't unzip this file. Make sure it stays zipped. Then you're going to go to a page that's going to require your device information. So make sure you have your device handy, because we're going to need that serial number. And you're also going to go ahead and put in all your facility information. You can see where the orange arrows are on the side. Make sure to check those off and go ahead to download. At the next page, you're going to hit download again, and you'll see in the bottom left corner. Again, make sure you keep that file zipped.
Right, so that file, you're going to want to make sure that that file is being saved onto that flash drive. All right, this is kind of moving from downloading the device to the actual installation process. So these are actually screen grabs from an EasyOne Pro Lab device. But if you're updating PC software that you use with either the EasyOne PC or the EasyOne Air, this process is going to go the exact same way for those devices. So you can see we're on the home screen right now, that EasyOne Pro Lab device. I'm going to click on Utilities, and the next thing I'm going to do is click on Advanced. When you click on Advanced, it's going to prompt you to enter a system password. This is the same system password that you use when you make any changes to your device, when you have to change the date or the time or anything like that. And that password is 8005. Again, the password is 8005. When you have that entered, then you can click Login, and it will launch you into this Advanced Utilities menu. So before we get to the software update, the first thing we're going to need you guys to do is to actually export all of your patient data and your device settings off of the device so that you don't lose those in the update process. So the first thing we're going to do is with our USB drive either inserted in the back of our PC if we're updating PC software, or into the USB drives in the back of your Pro Lab devices. We're going to click Export Data. We're going to confirm that both the patient data and the option settings are selected. And then once we confirm that, we can click Export, and it's going to launch you into something very similar to what you're used to seeing on a PC. Under Computer, you'll see that you have that removable disk, your USB drive inserted. You want to select that that's where you want the information to go, and then you're going to click OK. Once that process is completed, you're going to get an information box that says that the export was successfully finished. You're going to click OK, and the device is actually going to launch you back out into the main menu. Again, like Darren said, this process can take upwards of 30 to 60 minutes, and that exporting patient data, depending on how many patients you have on your device, can take up a pretty large chunk of that time. So just please remember to keep that in mind. This isn't something you want to try to do between patients, okay? So again, after you export the data, it's going to launch you back to the main menu. We're going to get to this Advanced Utilities screen the exact same way we did before. We're going to click on Utilities, then Advanced. It's going to prompt us for that 8005 password. Once we log in, we're going to be right back here at the Advanced Utilities menu. Right there in the middle, you can see where the orange circle is the option to update the software. Make sure that you have the USB stick with the zip file inserted into your device. We're going to click Update Software. Again, it's going to launch you into a very PC-looking screen. I have the computer selected. I have that removable disk selected, and there's our file, that update to 3.6 zip file. Once you have that highlighted and selected, you're going to click Open, and the device is going to confirm, are you sure that you want to update the program? You're going to click Yes, and it's going to launch you into this update process. It's going to take you to this screen while it unzips the installation package, and then it will take you into this updating screen. It's important that you leave your device running and do not turn off your device during the update. Once it's finished, the device will automatically restart. And again, I'm going to say it again, it could take up to an hour for the device to update. So please allow yourself the time to do this. Okay? The next couple of screens are just a confirmation. We already took our patient log off. We already took our device settings off. So we are comfortable clicking yes on both of these screens and just allowing the installation to continue. So yes on updating the database and yes on updating the patient database. Once this process is fully completed, it will tell you that this software update was successfully finished. You can click OK, and then your device will restart. Once your device restarts, back to the main menu, you can actually kind of go in and double check, make sure everything went well, and you can click on Utilities and then Configuration, and you'll be right here in your general settings on your device. Under the general settings, on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the purple About tab. When you click on the About tab, it's actually going to pull up all the system information, and you can see that the software version has been updated to 3.6 on this device. Okay, now the fun part. Now that we're through all that, guys.
Now the really hard technical stuff is done. We're going to go to the fun part of why this is so important that you have updated your software to 3.6. These are some great features and functionalities that I think will really help you when it comes to testing your patient's PFTs. The first one that we'll go over is the instructional videos on the device. The second one is the advanced password protection. And the third one are some new spirometry, MBW, and DLCO testing functionalities.
Right. This first one is actually one that, as a trainer, I love. I'm really excited about this. It's instructional videos located actually on the device. Before this update, you'd have to go to NDD.com or NDDmed.com. You'd have to go to our YouTube channel to access these. So it's really exciting that we're able to incorporate this into the actual software. I'm going to take a moment, and I'm actually going to switch over to our EasyOne PC software. Again, this is going to look the same on the Pro and the Pro Lab. A little bit cleaner screen here. So this is the home screen on the EasyOne Connect software. As you guys can see, if you've got a lab, it's going to look exactly the same. Where you're going to be able to access these instructional videos is on this question mark down here on the lower right-hand side of the screen next to the exit button. The manuals is something that's been there in the past. You can still click on the manual button. It'll bring up the full text document of the manual. It has all of that useful information in there, different error codes, different procedures. So all of that text manual is still located on the device under the question mark. But the new thing are the video library. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you can see that the instructional video library pops up. Several different things on there, from tutorial videos to patient instruction videos that you can have playing in the room while you're getting set up so the patient's a little more familiar with the test. Some technician instruction videos, which is great. When you do have staff turnover, you're having somebody new come in to learn how to test. These videos are an absolute perfect place to start, just to familiarize them with the process. Okay, so all of these devices, they play right on the device, they have sound on the device, and they're also captioned all the way through. So this is something that we're all really excited about.
It's a nice tool to use, especially with your patients who might be struggling when it comes to spirometry. You can have them watch. It's a 2-minute video, very easy to follow, so it could definitely help with your patient.
Right. Really quick, easy access video. All
okay.
right.
So back to our key improvements, again, with this new 3.6 software. So there's an advanced password protection, possibility to define your own database password, option to enforce strong passwords for user logins, an option to enforce password expiration for user logins. So this is really beneficial if you are working in a PFT lab and you're doing some PFT testing, you have to walk away due to being called somewhere. You know that within a certain amount of time, that device will go to the login screen, so that way someone else needs to log in to get to the testing procedure. So it is nice to be able to add all of you, whoever will be using the devices, to give them a login, and also know that when you walk away from the device, if you forget to log out or are unable to, it will do it for you. Some more key improvements is improving the nitrogen washout and the DLCO testing. So the first one I want to talk about is the DLCO testing. So for all of you that are out there that use our EasyOne Pro and Pro Lab, you're familiar with it. We've trained you over the last 10 years. We would perform a DLCO test. At the end of test, we would have you exhale for 5 seconds, either hit stop or take a breath in, and it would stop the DLCO test. There's a great new improvement that once that sample is taken at the end of the exhale, the device automatically stops. So it is a nice feature to have. The next one is the respiratory rate during the nitrogen washout. So if you are an EasyOne Pro Lab user, you know how difficult it can be sometimes to get the patients to do normal breathing without hyperventilating. So now what it does is it shows you your respiratory rate, so you know to keep that patient between 12 and 18, 12 and 20 respirations per minute to really help ensure getting the best results. When it comes to the spirometry testing functionality, there's a few things that have changed to help better test. The improved messaging, automatic error detection detects the most common errors, detects the end of test, gives problem and solution descriptions, select the best value, and test commenter. So when it comes to improved messaging, and this is really beneficial whether you've been a long-time spirometry user or you're new to spirometry or you have staff who's new, this is the ability to get a message as to what was going on with the test. Why was that patient, why was that test an F? Why is it your grade not getting better? Why is it saying it a D? And if you look on the screen, under trial 1, there's a purple box with a 1 with a line through it. When you click on that purple box, it gives you the problem and solution. This is really beneficial too when it comes to training your staff. So if you're a nurse manager or an RT manager, and you really want to go back and maybe there's a patient they're having difficulty with, this gives you the option to go to that patient's test, open up what the problem was, and talk it over with your staff as to what a solution could have been. Also, it helps the RT or the nurse or the MA who's performing the test while you're with the patient to ask the patient, in the instance for this one, the patient abruptly stopped exhaling. The solution is to ask the patient to exhale longer. So it really does help you really achieve the best testing and to help your staff understand a little bit more about spirometry. The next one is our commenter, and this one gets a little technical. So I'll try to go through this as easily as I can. So many times we get asked, can I add my own comments or maybe quick key comments that your physicians are used to seeing when they look at a report from a PFT device? So what we've done is the ability for you as the tech to either add your own quick key comments, meaning comments that you use normally. So maybe it's you add a certain amount of albuterol, or maybe the doctor has certain key phrases he likes you to use when adding a comment. So when you go under Utilities and Configuration, and then there's the Test tab you can see in white, and then the Commenter tab, this is what's going to pop up. The one that's the standardized interpretations is the ATS-ERS standard interpretation. This is already loaded on the device, but we do need to import it. So what you would do is I'm going to kind of toggle back between slides, but you would highlight it in blue and hit Save. And it's going to save those ATS-ERS interpretations. So quick keys, and I'll get to that screen. But the next one is adding your comments that you like to use. Maybe it's something you ask your staff to use. So instead of typing it in every single time in a comment, you can save it so you can just check it off on your boxes and it goes automatically to the comment. So you can see where the orange arrow is. I just called it test quality comments, or text, excuse me. You can call it whatever you want, but it's something that you can save your quick keys that you like to use frequently. So on this screen, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight again the ATS standard interpretations. I'm going to hit Save. If you wanted to add your own, you can see over on the right-hand side, you can see Add, Edit, add your own category. This is where you would do those. Because we already have this ATS download saved on the device, we just need to import it. You would just highlight it. It looks very similar to what we're doing with software. You do not need a USB stick for this, but you would just highlight the default ATS-ERS under Windows and you hit Open. So when it comes to now using this commenter that we just developed, where you would go is this is an example of a spirometry test. If you see over on the right-hand side under Comment, and the little white letters say click here to enter comment. When you click here to enter comment, this box will pop up and you'll add in your initials, just so you know who added the comment. And then this is where you would select, and again, I selected the ATS-ERS already, the standardized comments. And this is where you would click. So over here, I've clicked on A2, which spirometry shows no obstruction. And it moves it over to the right-hand side under the comment. You can, at this time, also type in your own comment if you wanted to. But this is also where your comments would populate for your quick keys. But it's a nice feature to have, so you don't have to constantly go in and keep typing over and over again, especially if you have those quick key or key phrases you like to use.
Right. If a lot of people ask us about medication doses. If you give the same dose of albuterol by the same method every time, that's just an awesome way that you can insert that and just save yourself some time during testing.
And if you are looking for, just like Jamie said, just those comments that you're used to saying or the doctor really likes to see on the report. So when it comes to the report and you've added your comments, you can see down on the bottom it has my initials, the date that I added them, and it gives all the interpretation of which I've added.
All right, so key takeaways. We're kind of coming towards the end here. I hope, especially as you guys go back on this recording to reference this material, I hope that we've given you a little bit of a better understanding how to go onto our website and retrieve the software, and then how to download that on your respective devices. We hope that you guys are excited and that you understand these new features that are available in the latest software, and we hope that you have a better understanding of how to access these new features on all of your devices, and how you guys can implement them into your practice as necessary.
So thank you guys so much for joining. Again, we'll be doing these every month. So we look forward to hoping you guys to have us join us next time. And
I'm going to go ahead and open up that chat bar so we can see if there have been any questions. It doesn't look like anybody's asked any questions yet. So take a minute here, guys. If you have anything you need us to address before we get off of here, feel free to enter it into that chat bar over on the right-hand side. Right.
And if you have any questions coming up while you are installing software, our support team is obviously there to help you, our tech support, and
Right.
Jamie and myself.
Right, and in that follow-up email, not only will you get the recording of this webinar, but you'll also, both of our contact information will be in there, tech support's information, and we just really want to be there to support you guys through this process, because it can be, it can be a little bit tedious, so we want to make sure that you guys are well taken care of.
And again, if you cannot get onto our website due to your facilities regulations, we can absolutely mail you a USB stick with the software downloaded onto it to help you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, we appreciate you jumping on. I hope we were able to answer questions when it comes to our new software and why it's so important to make sure you keep up on those software updates. You can always find them on our website. And Jamie showed you the About button under General tab on any of our software, and that will show you to make sure you're up to the most up-to-date current software.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions pop up, so we're going to go ahead and get off of here. Everybody have a great afternoon, and we hope to see you guys next month in February. We're going to be talking a little bit about DLCO and cardiology, for American Heart Month, so we're really excited about that. We look forward to hearing from you guys. Have a great afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.